Hey everybody, it's Lynn with the Lies Family Kitchen. I just made a video on clay pot rice with chicken, a famous dish from my hometown in China. I know that some of you may not be very familiar with clay pots, so I wanted to tell you a little bit more about them, what they are, how to use them, the different types, do's and don'ts, and I will show you how to season a clay pot if you buy one. There are many types of clay pots. Clay pots can get very fancy in China. Today I'm going to talk about the two types of Chinese clay pots that are most commonly available in the US market. This type here is made from clay mixed in with sand. If you touch it, it feels a little bit rough on the exterior, except for the glazed part. If you open it, you can see that on the inside it's kind of smooth to touch because it's glazed. This type of clay pot conducts heat faster, and it is most popular for clay pot rice dishes. This is the type you would see in clay pot rice restaurants in China everywhere. The wire here is to prevent cracking, although I really don't think it helps at all. To prevent cracking, the best thing to do is not to drop it. This type of clay pot comes in different sizes, but the look and feel is usually the same, whether it is large or small. These two here are made from pure clay. They're heavier, and if you touch them, they're smooth to touch inside and out. They conduct heat not as fast as the other type, but retains heat very well and keep food warm longer. They do come in different shapes, sizes, and colors. I like to use this one here for braces and this one for soups and stews. There are three things you need to know about clay pots. One, they're porous because they're made from clay, which means that there are little holes inside the walls of the clay pot to allow the smoky flavor from the fire to be absorbed by the ingredients inside the pot. That's why foods cooked in clay pots taste better. Two, clay pots need an open flame, so they're best on gas stove, and they would not work with electric stove or induction cooktop. Three, clay pots are made for dishes with liquid in them, such as soups, stews, braised, or rice dishes. There are three things you should never do with the clay pot. One, you should never use the clay pot for searing or stir frying. You know, for stir frying, we like to heat up the wok until it is smoking hot, and then you throw the ingredients in there to get the smoky wok hay. That's something you should never do with the clay pot because that extreme dry heat could cause the clay pot to crack. Two, you should never place a hot clay pot on a cold stone countertop or immerse it in cold water because that extreme change in temperature could also cause the clay pot to crack. Three, for cleaning, you should never use something like a steel scrubbing pad to clean it because it could damage the surface of the clay pots. There are three best practices you should remember. One, if you buy a clay pot, season it before using it. I'll show you in a little bit how to season a brand new clay pot. Two, always allow the clay pot to cool off to room temperature before washing it or immersing it in water. Three, if something is sticking to the bottom of the clay pot and you can't get it out, let it soak overnight and it'll become a lot easier. Next, I'm going to show you how to season a clay pot. I'm going to season it by making rice porridge inside the clay pot. The starchy water from the rice porridge will help seal some of the pores inside the clay pot and strengthen it, and it will help prevent cracking from cooking. Place your brand new clay pot in the sink and then fill it with water all the way to the top. Place the lid upside down on the pot and fill it with more water. Now let this soak overnight. The next day, clean the clay pot with soapy water inside and out. Once the clay pot is clean, fill it with water about 80% full. Turn your stove on to medium heat. Put a 1/4 cup of unwashed rice in the pot. We're not washing the rice because washing will remove starch, and we need that starch for the curing process. Please note that this rice porridge is not made for eating, it's only for curing. Once it's boiling, lower the heat to medium-low. Continue to simmer it uncovered for 1 hour. After an hour, turn off the heat and allow the rice porridge and the clay pot to cool to room temperature. Once cooled, discard the rice porridge and clean it, and now your clay pot is ready to go. The seasoning process for both types of clay pots are exactly the same. Have fun with your clay pots. I hope you like this video. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.